Hello, welcome. This is our free community gathering. We are doing a Q&A session on what platform to use for class and course hosting. And we're also going to talk about a couple other topics and themes that have been presenting and being asked already, like how do you price a class or course or a digital product, as well as what does email marketing look like? And we're also going to go into the back end, like the tech side of things. And I'm going to show you guys some of the systems and platforms I use. I find that sometimes when you can see that part of it and how it functions and flows, it gives you a that bigger vision of like, oh, that's how you can do it. So we're going to do that as well. Got some more people coming in. Yay, yay, yay. So at the very beginning of this call, I shared I'd love to get to know you guys a little bit more and what has brought you here. What kind of birth worker are you? And if you are looking to create a class, a course, or a digital product in 2024, what kind of class or course is it? I would love to hear. And I'm going to share a little bit about myself, but what we're doing today in this community gathering, how I normally host these is I call them an open forum. I think it's really, one, it's very fun and nourishing to get birth workers together. And we use this space very collaboratively. So I'm leading, I'm guiding, I'm going to be answering some of the questions, but I find it really, really useful when we all collaboratively share information together. It's kind of like a mastermind type of experience with birth workers. And the thing is, I don't know all of the answers for everything. I am definitely not a very egocentric person, and I value the community. I value the uniqueness of each person, and what you have done that works well or that you found doesn't work very well is really, really useful contributions to bring to the group to share with others. So that's kind of how the feel, the vibe of this space is like. And also, what else? I think that's about it. So yeah, it's a very collaborative type of event. I lead, I guide, and I'll go over those first couple topics and themes that I discussed, and I'll show you guys the back end. And as we're kind of moving through things, if specific questions come up, use the chat and I will make sure to answer them. Or if other people want to answer, just raise your hand. You can come off mute and share your experience and your contribution. Okay, and then just a tiny bit about me. If you are new to me, new to this space, my name is Melissa Fernandez. I am a retired Cirque du Soleil acrobat turned postpartum doula. I am also an energetic practitioner. I live in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and I also mentor doulas. I have two different websites and spaces. I have the Atlanta Postpartum Doula Agency that is run out of Atlanta, and then I also have the Doula Business Resource Hub that has classes, courses, templates, mentorship, and my signature program, the Wellness and Business Collective, where the magic happens. I have some members here today that are part of that group. Yeah, Kristen, and it's just a really nourishing space. So I have those two aspects. That's a little bit about me. And I love doing energy work. So I've been an energy practitioner for almost 3 years now. And so that's a really fun, beautiful side of my business and myself too. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to look at the chat real quick. So one of the questions I asked at the very beginning, if you're just hopping on, is to share a little bit about yourself, who you are, what type of birth work you do, and what kind of class or course or digital product are you wanting to create in 2024. So Kate is birth and postpartum doula located in Lexington, North Carolina. Create a class for breast milk jewelry making. That is so cool. Yes, because you see jewelry makers, but you don't see how to do it. Like especially the breastfeeding jewelry. That's so cool. Placenta encapsulation and free birth. Awesome. Cool. And you had one for yourself. That's so amazing. Kat says she's from Denver, Colorado, birth, postpartum, and sibling doula, working on making a class for siblings. Yeah, I think that's really, really needed. That's a great niche to focus in on. Amy is from Richmond, Virginia, birth doula, starting childbirth ed that you created with another doula and hoping to expand from there. Yep, that's a solid class to have in your doula toolkit. Okay, Tabitha, I hope you caught that part about what we're answering. Megan, yes, okay. North Louisiana, birth and postpartum doula and placenta specialist. Awesome. Hello, Mallory. Yeah, so we even have other entrepreneurs in here. So Mallory is a holistic brand designer and spiritual mentor. So if you're looking for any kind of social media branding type of help and support, she is the go-to person right there. And she works with a lot of moms as well. So highlighting her. Okay, Tabitha's wanting to create a cloth diapering ebook. Cool. Oh, wow. Katie, that's so beautiful. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys for sharing that stuff. It's really, really useful. We can kind of flow with those specific things as we go on. Valerie's from Dallas area. Cool. We've got some more Texas in here. I know Kristen's from Texas as well. 30 years experience working as a postpartum doula in NCS. Oh, wow. Amazing. So yeah, see, like we all have such unique backgrounds, and that's what I find comes really like flows really well with these kind of conversations, is that we can each really share and contribute to what you've experienced in your life for the collective. Okay, so let's talk about class and course creation. I'm going to get right into course platform hosting because this is a really big subject. So I'm going to give you guys a list. I'm going to share some spaces that you can host your class or your course or your digital product. Now, there's a lot of nuance to it. The one thing, if you take anything away from this session today, the one thing that's most important is to not get hung up about where you're hosting, because it can change. You can change it at any time. The number one most important thing to do is to find a platform you resonate with, even if it's just like a small little bit, and take action and do it and go for it. Because that is what stops a lot of people, not just birth workers, but it's the action step of like actually putting it on a platform and going with it. Because we can so easily get caught in the space of looking at all these different platforms and like, oh my gosh, this one has this one has this one's really good, but this one, it's kind of like house shopping where you're like going to all these different homes and they're not all going to be perfect. They're not going to have everything you want unless you're building it from scratch, full construction, which you can do with some apps if you eventually want to get there. But when we're first starting out, we have to just choose a platform, take action, and go. So I'm going to just share my screen real quick. So can you guys see that? Yes, cool. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback. Okay, so I split it up into free options, paid platforms, and then the higher price point, like all-in-one type systems based on what your needs are right now. So the free ones that I found work well for starting out, and there's some alternative ones here. So Buy Me a Coffee is a really fun platform that you can actually post PDF files. So if you have like an ebook or something, you can write blogs there. You can also do audio. So if you're wanting to do a freebie or some kind of class that is in audio format, Buy Me a Coffee can work really well. It can be done for free, and you can also have it paid. So like you can people can get onto that site and pay you for access to your things. It's kind of like a Substack type of platform. And then Google Drive is an easy go-to. If you know how to function Google Drive, that is always a really great fallback for where you can host classes or courses. I do a mix of Google Drive and my Mighty Networks platform. So it's always an option, and it's quite simple. I can go through the back-end pieces of Google Drive and how you can set it up if that's something that interests anyone. Teachable and Podia. These are really, really high functioning platforms that you can start for free. And if you have a class or course that's ready to go, I would highly suggest today that you start a free trial with either Teachable or Podia to start out. because they're free. Now, if you ever need to expand, you can just hop into a paid platform with them, like a paid version of it, or switch to another platform if you decide you don't enjoy it. But those are two really good free ones. And then paid platforms, Thrivecart, Mighty Networks, Thinkific, MemberVault, Online Course Host, and Shopify. So I kept it to those 6. There's many, many more out there, but these 6 are pretty good. They have various price points. MemberVault is one of the lower ones. Their lowest membership is just $19 a month, which I think is great. And also Thrivecart is a wonderful it's not an all-in-one system because it doesn't have email marketing, but it has no monthly fees. So it's a one-time lifetime access payment. It's also a checkout system. So it's a point of sale where you can get paid and you can host your classes, courses, and PDFs, digital files. Really, really love Thrivecart. I'm going to always share about Thrivecart. So there's that. And then your higher price point platforms, these are all-in-one systems that include email marketing. That's going to be Kajabi, Kartra, and Entreport, and they are very, very high price point, but they are an all-in-one system. So if you want an all-in-one system and you know you're going to stay with this very long term and you like those platforms, those are really great ones to use as well. So as I said before, I use Mighty Networks, and every now and then I'll do Google Drive, and I'm very happy with Mighty Networks. Oh, and Thrivecart, of course. I use Thrivecart too. Okay. I'm going to look at the chat box real quick. Okay, so what do you guys think about that? And have you used any course platforms yet? Have you tried any out? What have you found useful? What has worked well? And you can come off mute as well. Amy is asking, what does all-in-one mean? Yeah, the all-in-one platforms, they have the course hosting, they've got email marketing, they have funnel systems. Oh, they've got a lot of features that I don't use. It's really a robust type of system. They also have payments, so they'll accept payments. It's a point of sale system. I think those are the biggest pieces, the biggest functions that they used. Katie says, I've used Kajabi. I have Google Drive, but I've never used it for classes. No experience with the other options. Cool. And do you find that you want to, that you wanted to go with Kajabi, or are you looking for a different platform? Yeah, so Katie's saying she likes Kajabi, but wants a budget friendly option. Yeah, it's really just dependent on where you're at with your process. And if you have a high volume coming in, what I've found is that as birth workers and doulas, is that the volume it's different. It ebbs and flows because people are only pregnant and postpartum for like a certain amount of time. Like, yes, postpartum is forever, but when we're talking about marketing strategy and we're talking about class and course and online business type work like this, the window is, there's a timeline, there's a time frame, right? And it's going to be in and out. You're going to constantly be having to get new pregnant people coming in, new leads of pregnant people for your class and course creation. And unless you have a high volume of that happening and you're really focusing on lead generation, which most of us really aren't, having a robust system like Kajabi or Kartra sometimes isn't necessary. And if we have something that's more budget friendly, it's going to do the same task, you know? Kristen asked, what are the basics of using Google Drive? So you want to see like the back end pieces? Yeah, I can do that. Kat shared, I didn't like Kajabi. I used it for a mentorship. It was easy to use, but I didn't like the format. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't like Kajabi or Kartra either. For some reason, the interface, it just doesn't move me. So I'm in agreement with that. But other people find that they really love it. Okay, let's go to Google Drive. Okay, so you guys can see this now. Yeah, you guys can see the Google Drive here. Yep, cool. Thank you, Valerie. So basically, I mean, I have a lot of content here. And my husband is doing work upstairs in the home. So that's the drilling sounds, if you can hear that. So let's see, we can do, I'll do my birth and beyond childbirth ed class. So what I do is I create a folder for it. And usually I record my classes in Zoom. And I make it really easy. So I do have a Zoom subscription. I do pay for it. That allows me to go over 45 minutes. So if your classes and courses and stuff, any of your virtual services, if you provide them, if they're under 45 minutes, you don't have to purchase a Zoom subscription. But I use Zoom so much, so I do. And I record on Zoom. I create my goodness, my words today. I grab the class from my computer and I just upload it to Google Drive like this. And then I place all the things there. Then I also have extra classes that they get in this childbirth ed class. So they have postpartum recovery, unmedicated birth, birth plan presentation. And then they also receive handouts, tons of handouts. So that's all part of their class, right? Then what I do to share it with the clients once they purchase the class, I go to share. And this is the most important part, is that right here, it's going to say restricted at first. All you have to do is you click anyone with the link and then you copy it. And then that copy link is what you send to the client, and then they can have access to all this. So it's really, really simple. And then that's like the most basic, simplest way to have a class or course or digital product. And the reason I share this is because taking the first steps and taking action and getting the first iteration out of what you're building and creating is really, really important, because most people just get stuck back here and they never take that step forward. So having something as simple as Google Drive and putting it out there, because Google Drive is free, you just send it over, especially if you're just having low volume at the beginning, you start to get paid for your classes and courses and your ebooks and stuff. And then cash flow starts to come in, and you have a little bit more space to start seeing, okay, are there other platforms? Do I like this model of business? Like, do I like this? Because it's a whole nother space when you're entering into class course creation. And if you're starting to tap into online business aspects, and sometimes you may enjoy it, sometimes you may not. If you enjoy it and you're like, yes, I love this kind of stuff, I want to keep building and creating and doing more classes and courses, that's when you're going to be like, okay, I want a platform. And then you're going to have more time and space to find exactly the type of platform that you're going to want to use for a longer term. I'm going to the chat box now. Katie says Google Drive seems to be the easiest option. You just drop all the videos, hand out, yep, and share it with your paid members. Yeah, it really is so easy, guys. Yes, and everyone, yeah, everyone's saying love the ease of Google Drive. Helps a lot. How big do the videos tend to get through? How big do the videos tend to get, though? Just worried about running out of space. That's a good question. I mean, I've got a pretty high, you get a good amount of storage on Google Drive. And then you can always upgrade if you need more storage, or you just break up the classes. If they're going to be like 2 hours long, 2 hours is fine to put on Google Drive. I've done that before. But if you need to break it up into like hour chunks, and anyways, what I found is that some people prefer like 45 minutes to 1 hour of class content and stuff. The shorter, the better. Okay, Kristen is asking, what about Canva? Can it be used for classes and courses? Great question. I'll share my process. There's probably a couple other ways to do it. I know you can create websites on Canva. I don't suggest it, though. I mean, you can use it, of course. It's a great starting point, but the link for like the domain of your website is a Canva site, so it can kind of get confusing to people. but it's a good starting point. But we're talking about classes and courses. Yeah, Jennifer is saying you can record in Canva. Absolutely. The way that I use Canva is I create my graphics. I will then I'll create the class, and then I will download that as a PDF file, and then I record in Zoom. For me, I find that better. You can record your classes and courses in Canva, then you download that file and use it. You could I think you can even directly send it over to Google Drive through Canva. Now, I'm not sure if you have to have a pro membership for that. There's a lot of features that you get for free in Canva. You would just have to check to see. I'm on the pro version. I really love Canva. It's a necessary investment for my business that I use every year. Mallory is sharing that Google Drive offers 15 gigabytes for free. Yep. So there you go. That's a pretty good amount of space. These are all great questions, guys. I love it. And if anyone wants to come off mute and share their experiences, you can totally do that. Also, I'll just keep talking. I can do that too. All right, cool. Anyone have further questions about platforms? I'm trying to see. Okay. Valerie shared, she always wanted to teach, but never knew how. And this class is almost overwhelming with the info. Never knew any of this. Will there be notes for us to keep other than me writing my own? Good question. Well, you're going to get a replay. So you can access the replay anytime you want to go through. I'm also going to be opening up Template Queens, which is one of my signature programs to create your classes and courses. That's going to have everything in a space and more classes and content. Yeah, I can totally see how it's overwhelming. It is a lot of information. There are a couple steps and processes that you go through to build something like this. And that's why, honestly, that's why I did the program it's called Template Queens. And it's, everyone on the internet space is like, oh, I just built a class and then I sold it and I have passive income and I'm generating revenue. But the reality is it takes a lot of work. And there are steps to take to complete something like a class or course. And it can also be really easy and simple and fun. And a lot of the products and the things that I do, I bring it so that it's a simple process and step, so that it doesn't feel as overwhelming. So Valerie said, especially since I'm not computer savvy or tech savvy, it's so hard being like this. I get it. And we will just do the things that are the most easiest. So do you prefer teaching in person? Yeah. And which class are you wanting to build? Is it your childbirth ed?
No, I'm preferring to teach newborn education and postpartum, course, along with breastfeeding.
Those are great ones. Yeah. So what I have created, I do have templates that can help in this creation process. A lot of people here have already purchased these templates. They are essentially, let me just pull them up for you guys so you can kind of see. Oops. Oh no. So I built these out in Canva. And essentially it's an entire class curriculum on newborn care, postpartum recovery, and postpartum planning, and also a VBAC class template. And it's the full curriculum, and you also get a slide deck presentation, and it's already completely done for you. All you have to do is go in, customize it with your branding and your specific, approach that you teach or anything unique about you. Let's see. I'm going to pull it up. And these templates are so that you can get the process started easier with a little bit less overwhelm, and then you can focus, you can pull it together, and then you can just record it. So all you do is record if you want. You teach it in person, you download it. If you're doing in person, you would just complete the Canva, you would download the PDF, and then you would go teach it. And you would, you know, set up a small little flyer, tell your clients about it, tell your network about it, that you're doing these classes, and then you wrap it up with pricing, packaging, and you say, this is where you can pay, and then you teach the class. So it really can be quite simple. Let's go to screen share. So this is the postpartum class template. It's not, this is from my end. You guys will, you'll receive something different, but this is what it looks like. So this is the newborn care template. And you get it in this format and also a Word doc curriculum. Oops. So you get all of it that's already prepared for you. And then you just go in, you add your photos, you edit some of the stuff, like you put in your picture here, and there you have a class. So that helps, right? It helps with that process of creation. So that's always an option. Okay.
How do you suggest getting clients? You know, would you like do the, what is that called? The Facebook marketing or something, where you would say that you're offering courses and have people sign up that way, or is there other ways?
How do you normally get your doula clients right now?
Oh, my clients, they're always word of mouth, occasionally my website, but I mean, what I'm saying is they never ask. I mean, it's rare if anybody wanted a course. I'm just saying, if I wanted to order to my community, have a course, how do I reach them?
The best ways to do it is to put it up a page on your website about your class, who it's for, what's inside, what's the pricing when you're doing the class, right? Like the basic informations. And then I like to share with my network. So anyone who are like, do you work with other doulas? Do you work with other chiropractors? That your network that you've got in place, I would share it to them like, hey, I've got this class coming up. If you have anyone interested, send them the link right here, or they can call me. If you're a part of any Facebook mom groups, that's always a really good way. But if you're not on Facebook like that, you don't have to use it. But
I find a lot of people said join the Facebook mom groups, but the problem is they don't allow any kind of advertising of businesses. I guess they're tired of women doing the MLM marketing things. So they just make it a blanket statement. So you can't really advertise that you provide this service. So I haven't found any moms group really to be helpful. So I'm just really stuck, like how to do this, except for, like I said, I've heard people, I forgot, my mind's gone blank, but you just make this announcement that you're holding this course and then people can sign up for it. But I'm not sure exactly where it is.
yeah, and it's sometimes it can be as easy as you share something and people sign up for it, but oftentimes it does require a marketing strategy. And we get into a lot of that inside of Template Queens, and we start to really dissect the like approach and strategize what's going to work best for you. So we can definitely talk on that a little bit more in that program if it's something that feels good that you want to move forward in. I'm going to go to some of these questions. And if anyone has experience with this kind of stuff, feel free to come off mute and to share and to, you know, let us know what you guys do too, or what you found helpful. Okay, Katie said, so if we're using your templates, we just edit them and then have the rights to sell the class, no copyright issue. And where can we find the templates if we're interested? Yep. So with the templates, I'll be real clear and specific on this. You edit them and you can sell the class, your edited class, to your clients. That is completely no copyright, no issues, nothing. That's totally fine. What you cannot do, which I've had done, unfortunately, is you cannot take the template and then you resell the template to other birth workers. I unfortunately, yes, that has happened, but I hope that's helpful.
So
Tabitha,
you mean, I'd like to ask, you're selling a template and we just put our logo on it or whatever, but you're we're buying your class and then we just put our logo on it? Is that what you're saying?
exactly. It's like purchasing curriculum. So like you can purchase childbirth ed curriculum and then you create and build out your class and then you go teach your class. It's the same concept, except I really expanded upon it and I give you a full slide deck presentation and a couple other handouts so that you can go sell your class. Because what I saw occurring was that there are all these classes for childbirth education, but there were no classes to purchase for postpartum recovery. There were newborn care class curriculums, but not a whole lot, or postpartum planning. There's no curriculums out there for that. If there are, they're not well known, and it's not.
Yes.
So yeah,
So just say like you have your course on there and it's fine, but we want to add some extra to it. Can we do that?
yep,
Oh, okay. So we can add our own twist on the information and that kind of thing.
exactly. Yeah, so you can really
That
make it
makes life
unique.
so much easier.
It does. It really, really does. I think I'm over like 200 doulas who have purchased these templates and used them for classes and courses. So it's a really well used, very necessary class.
So basically, isn't that like we're just copying your work or what, you know what I mean? Using your work instead of us creating our own. That's okay?
It's a template. So for me, it feels okay because I am giving you curriculum and it's for the use of you to be easy and to make it your own.
I see. Okay.
I want to save you guys time because it is really important that communities and families have postpartum education and that they
Well,
get.
I know. I just was thinking that, I mean, I had to reinvent the wheel, my own twist on things. That's what I thought I had to do. And that's why I'm kind of been frozen for a few years, trying to figure out, how much of it do I really want to reinvent the wheel again? Do I really want to do this? I just know I love to teach, but I just didn't know where to go from there.
Yeah. And this gives you a really good head start and it makes the other pieces kind of fall in line a bit easier.
And do you have like payment plans? I mean, I don't know how expensive these courses are you sell.
They're mid-tier, they're not super expensive. And I do believe some of them have like split pay options. And if you need other options, I'm happy to discuss that with you further.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what does it call for me to go look for it?
Oh, I put it in the chat box,
Oh, okay.
the link. And when I send you guys an email with the replay, I'll put a link there as well, since this was something we discussed today.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Great questions. Okay, Megan is saying Pinterest is a search engine. Moms are there looking for this all the time, and keywords are big to them finding you. I recently had a member in our Wellness and Business Collective who said she was going to start using Pinterest because she was kind of feeling tapped out on Instagram and she was going to go over to Pinterest. So, yes, that can be a really useful marketing tool for classes and courses. What I find when you're marketing, it's really, really important to use the pathway that is most comfortable and easiest for you. Because if it's hard, if it feels like it's difficult, it's not going to land really well and you're not going to want to do it. So really finding the way that's easiest is going to be very, very helpful. Amy asked, maybe you will cover this, but if we create our own content, what are your thoughts on trademarking or copywriting? This is a good question. You know, this has been asked to me 2 times in 1 week. I have a person that I use for trademarking and copywriting. She also writes doula contracts and stuff. Her name is Reve Sinclair. She's amazing. And
How do you spell her name?
I just put it into the chat box. Do you see it in there?
Okay, I guess so, yeah.
Great. Okay, so trademarking and copywriting. It can be very, very useful and helpful to do that. On a legal aspect, yes. So with copywriting, there's a difference between the two. With copywriting, anything you create, even like your Instagram post or your TikTok, it is copywritten. Like as soon as it goes out into the internet space, that you have copyright over that. With trademarking, that is it's the more legal route, and it is very specific to like, I'm going to trademark my business name. I'm going to trademark this phrase. I'm going to trademark X, Y, and Z. And that's something that's really useful to do as well. So if it feels that it is necessary for you to do that, absolutely. I'm a more flexible kind of person, and I haven't done that yet, although it's been presented to me, obviously, I had an experience where someone was reselling my templates to other birth workers, that yes, it is important to do, especially if you are creating very unique content, to go the legal route in that way. Luckily, that specific situation got resolved just between the two of us, but it was, it's never fun. And it was just a copyright issue that she did not understand, that you can't just copy someone's work and rebrand it as your own. So Mallory is sharing from her branding and marketing perspective. She loves Pinterest. She recommends Pinterest to all her clients. With Facebook, you're just meeting people and making conversations. Mallory, are you able to come off mute and speak? You totally can.
Hi, I can. I have the chaos of 2 kids with me, so excuse me if you hear anything. Everything is okay. Yeah, so I like to think of Facebook, like I said, as please don't put that in me. It's like a virtual coffee shop. Like you're just connecting and building relationships. I'm not sure what you're talking about. So yeah, if you can get as clear as, it's about getting clear with what you want to do with each space you're working with. So Instagram, are you using that to, oh my God, market yourself? You use that to share content, to really get people to know you, and to establish your authority. Facebook is about connections. It's like I said, a virtual coffee shop. You're just connecting with people. If someone posts like, I'm about to have a baby, like I have these questions, like how would you have a conversation with them and connect with them? And then maybe that will lead somewhere, and it may not. And maybe they have a friend who needs your support, or, you never know where it's going to lead. So it's just being open-minded with it. And then Pinterest, it's a search engine. So you're using that to reach more people. So getting clear with what the purpose of each platform is, if that makes any sense.
I love it. Thank you, Mallory. That's so helpful. Okay, I'm going to shift gears real quick because I want to make sure I get the email marketing tapped in a little bit. I know Megan had questions around that, so I want to share with you guys. And the reason I'm bringing up email marketing is that it can be used as a tool alongside your classes and courses for marketing. So I'm going to just share this real quick. Oh no, I don't want that. Okay, so I use a system called Flowdesk. It's very user friendly. It's super easy. My email marketing journey was that I was very resistant to starting because it felt too overwhelming. At the time I was working with a mentor, and she was like, Flowdesk is really easy. I think you might like it. Give it a try. And lo and behold, I am now like, email is my go-to. I love email marketing, and it's very effective with selling classes and courses. So essentially, you get leads, you get new people to come into your subscriber list who you can then build a connection with. You can share with them events. You can share with them the class that you're about to have you're about to do a class in a month, and you can get them to sign up with you. So you can get paid through email marketing. So I really love it. This is my system here. I got all my emails here. I think I have around 400 emails that I've sent. That's a lot. So if you guys have any specific questions about emails or email marketing, I'm happy to ask them. Megan, you wanted to know about like your signature. We're going to go to this. So Megan was talking about your email signature and how sometimes, what do you put at the end of your emails for your address? Oh, hold on. Let me grab this. You guys are going to see that email soon. That's funny. Okay, so basically down here, it says my address, and you can probably delete that so you don't have to have it showing. But I never put my real address. Like, I'm never going to tell someone my location. And I also don't share my phone number because I don't want people calling me. I just don't want that. So you don't have to share your actual address and location. And you can do this also. Ooh. You can also do this here. Oh my gosh, you can, no, it's not showing me. Sorry. For your Gmail email signature. Okay, I'm not going to be able to find it. It won't take me too long. But you don't have to share your actual like email addresses and stuff. Okay, so Megan is asking how to set up workflows. I guess I don't understand how they drip into people's emails if they sign up on your website under a pop-up or other places. Does that make sense? Yeah, so I'll show that to you now. Okay, so workflow. Basically, they sign up with a form. So you create a form. This one here is about getting on my advanced doula training that's coming for April 2024. You sign up for it, then they get entered into a workflow. I don't think I have a workflow for that one yet, but we can go into this one. And you build all this out through email marketing and through the platform and system. So this is a freebie I have for pregnant people. You can change the segment that they come into. So this is the type of audience. So like you guys were in my audio class segment. So you can do that. And then this is going to be the first email that they receive whenever they opt in for your freebie. So you can go in, you can edit the entire email like this. And it's all automated. So as soon as you create this workflow, you publish it, it's all going to be automated. You don't have to do any of it. You can switch the time delay to like 10 hours. You can do 24 days. And then they go through a sequence. So this is like a brand new pregnant person that comes into my space. They get their free checklist. They go through 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one I'm sharing like my affiliate links in there. This one. And then I think at some point, I used to share my newborn care class. Now I just share my offers for my business, which are the childbirth ed class, the in-home postpartum support, and my postpartum support circle. And then I just direct them to my website to start to book in a call with me to talk to them. And then that's it. That's the completion of the workflow. Now, if you are doing a workflow specifically for classes and courses, we would just build out your workflow specific to selling your class or your ebook, like your postpartum recovery course, in that workflow. Yes, that's Flowdesk. Yeah. Okay. So Katie's saying email marketing has been an overwhelming thing on my to-do list. I was also concerned that a lot of people would just delete them and not even open them. Yeah, they do. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's a large majority of people that don't open them or delete them. They also will get on your subscriber list, get your free content or whatever they signed up for, and then they unsubscribe. There will be people who report you as spam. There will be people who do those things, and that's okay. There are going to be people who love your content, who want to connect with you, and who will purchase from you through the connection that you build with them. So there are, another aspect is that you want people to unsubscribe and to not be on your list if it's not correct. I have an email training. Mallory has access to that training. She's purchased it before. It's a really lovely training, and it's the very basic beginning of how to start your email marketing. So if you would like to get in on that, I can send you that over. I can probably add it to the email list or the replay that goes out. I didn't expect all of this. I wasn't meaning to talk just about my templates and the email market. But I guess it makes sense because of the classes and courses that we're discussing. And I do have these trainings, so it's there. Okay, Mallory, Megan is saying, okay, it makes sense. Thank you. You're so welcome. Mallory loves the email marketing trainings. If you're just starting your email marketing journey, start there. Yeah, it's a really the foundational steps, and it's really simple. I make it really simple. Tabitha is sharing, I'm going to be honest, I rarely read all the emails from others. Some I open, some I skim, and some I skip. If they want your content, they will stay subscribed. Absolutely. And also the other piece is too, you start to get really crafty with your subject lines. So I've started to explore and play that because it is really important. And sometimes that subject line will make or break whether someone opens the email or not. So that's something to play with. And there's also I think in my email marketing training, I might have prompts that you could use for that subject line. I'd have to check, but that could be something fun to add. And that will just boost your open rate. And also it makes it exciting for people to oh, what are they saying in the email? I want to know. Okay. Yay. Cool. I love this, guys. Any other questions? This has been awesome. I'm really glad that you guys came. Yeah, Tabitha said the subject line is what gets me to open. Absolutely. Yeah, and it's a muscle that you have to flex and you have to train and you have to practice. You go in, you create an email, you put the subject line, and you go read the results and you see how many people opened up the email and what the percentage rate is. I think it's a 20%. Oh, I'm not sure. There's an average percentage rate that's healthy for an email to be opened up. And if you kind of go for that average, that helps. Katie is asking,
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have to pay for some kind of email marketing list, to be on? That's what I was wondering, if they were expensive, and where do you find email lists from?
That's a good question.
Especially for your zip codes that you're looking for.
So it's a platform. It's another platform. And there are paid ones, and then there are a couple that are free. So MailChimp is one that's free that a lot of people use when they're first starting out. So that is one you can start playing with and exploring. And then there's, I use Flowdesk. That one you do pay for. I have a 50% off code. I can get that link too. And you get like a 30-day trial with that one. And Katie asked, what's your favorite hosting platform for classes? Which would you recommend? Oh, okay, I'll answer that too here in a second. Yeah, so there's paid ones, there's free ones. MailChimp is a great one. Flowdesk is really easy to use. And then, like we talked about at the very beginning, Kajabi, Kartra, Ontraport, those bigger, robust course platform hosting systems, they also have email marketing. So then you can have all of it in one space and you pay just the one monthly rate for all of that. So that's an option too if you don't want to have like multiple different platforms, like a big tech stack. Okay, Katie's question about what's my favorite hosting platform for classes. I love Mighty Networks. I'm actually renewing my subscription this month, and I'm going into my 3rd or 4th year using Mighty Networks. I find it's really wonderful. It's where my templates are hosted and my communities for like the Wellness and Business Collective, my signature program. It's got all my courses and classes there. And then for smaller things, like for workshops and stuff, I use Google Drive. And I found it works really well. Right now, I don't foresee myself switching in the near future from Mighty Networks. Their rate is around $1,000 a year for Mighty Networks. And that's for, I think, the business plan. Tabitha said, oh, Megan, you said, have you heard of SendOwl or know how it works? I have not. So I don't have information to share on that. And Tabitha said, the email list can come from offering a free download. They put in their email and then you add them to your automated list for further emails. Exactly. Yep. I love it. I love email marketing. Okay, guys, do we want to talk about pricing for an ebook or a class or a course? Ooh, Amy said yes immediately. I love it. Megan said yes. Ooh. Okay. Oh my gosh. You guys are great. Okay, so since Tabitha said yes, pricing for ebooks, please. Katie too, pricing and ebooks. Yeah, let's talk about digital products and ebooks like that. For me, these are going to be pocket product type pricing. Pocket product is $100 or less. So especially for like ebooks, I find $19 around that range, $33, depending on like what's inside of it. That can be a really good starting point. If there are other elements that come with the ebook, then you can price it up higher towards like the $77, $97 rate. But for digital products like that, I definitely think it's pocket product type pricing. And pocket product just means something that is a lower price point. And it is a high value, low price point. And I'll share with you guys, I use this type of pricing strategy for my very first template that came out in 2021, the postpartum class template. It was at a really, really, really very low price point, and it did so well. And it wasn't until a couple years later that I realized the impact and the value that it holds. And I increased the price just a little bit, but that is what I would share for ebooks and PDF and digital products. Now, if you're wanting to add value to an ebook, let's say, I find that putting a training, like a video recorded training alongside the product goes over really well to just add the value to make it a really easy yes for people to purchase it. So that's something that's really fun to do. Tabitha said, I'm currently working on the cloth diapering ebook with all the things you need to know. Cool. I don't want to underprice. Yes, exactly. I'm thinking 25, but then thought it was too low. I want to be able to sell it like hot. You're so fun. Sell it like hotcakes. So scared to price it at 33, but I feel it's worth it. Okay, so this is a strategy I'll share with you guys. That's really, really fun. If this is the first time you're putting this out there, do introductory pricing at a really ridiculously low price. So we'll go with this example. You're thinking 25, but it feels like this is $33, that it's worth $33. Okay, that's your end point. Okay, that's what you're going to get to. Eventually, it's going to be 33. What if you did an introductory rate of like $17, $11, $22, and it's only available at that price point for 7 days? So that provides urgency for someone to purchase it right away, because they know at this date it's going to bump up to $33. So that's one option, right? That's one marketing strategy that you can use. Okay, Megan. And then that also, for you, Tabitha, that also makes it feel, it's really fun, because then you get people to start coming in. You get the hotcakes, right? You're like, woo, it's selling at this price point. And then you also know that the value of it is at 33, and it is going to land at that point eventually. But we get to have fun with it in the beginning, because it is really, really exciting. And then if you're able to, whatever your point of sale system is, if you can add coupons, you can always do sales later on. So it sits at 33 for a while, and then you can do like a celebration sale and get a 20% off coupon code for your cloth diapering. Okay, Megan said, I did my postpartum ebook for $24.68 with a free birth story guide included. Ooh, should I raise that, do you think? Yeah, you have so much jam-packed in that ebook. Okay, my question is, has it sold? Are people buying it? I really like the birth story guide. Yeah, if you haven't sold it yet, I wouldn't increase the price just yet. I would think about, in that case, I would think about what's your marketing strategy to get people to purchase. And where it's on Etsy right now? Etsy and your website. Yeah, see, this is where we could troubleshoot this kind of stuff inside the Template Queens program. I'm going to share that with you guys here soon, because I wouldn't raise it just yet. Yeah, we're going to have to think. Or you could, okay, there are two things you could do. You could raise the price, and you would say the price is going up on X date. Get your ebook at this price point. You could create urgency, or you could say, hey, I'm adding in this extra thing. Get your price at, or it now includes this bonus. I'm now putting in this X, Y, and Z. It's now included. Buy it here. So those are two different strategies you could use. Yeah, and this is, yeah, the marketing is where we can get really strategic with it. But we have to get the data points, right? We have to get data points. Mallory is saying, marketing tip that someone might find useful: you can't share your products too much. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great reminder. People need to see it a minimum of 7 times in order to purchase, and they don't see it every single time you share it in the first place. So you need to be sharing it with your audience a lot. Absolutely. The more that you can share about it and keep talking about it, it's never going to do any harm to just keep telling them about it. I mean, think about your own buying, what's the word? Mallory probably knows the word I'm trying to word. Yeah. When you're about to buy something, how many times do you see it before you actually buy it? Like for me, it's ridiculous. It's like I have to just get more information about, do I really want to buy it? Even though I know I want to buy it. It's just the psychology of it. So yeah, keep talking about it. Keep sharing. Sometimes I like to screen share and let people see like, this is what's inside, this is what you get. And I'm also throwing in this bonus and here's where you can pay. Are you giving them a call to action? Are you giving them the link to purchase? Is it really easy for them to buy? Sometimes we also have to look at the tech pieces. If it's too difficult for them to purchase, like one time I went on a website, I wanted to buy something and you had to like work around and snake around to find the link to pay to get the thing. And I was like, I'm done. I'm getting off this screen. I can't figure out how to buy it. Is it easy to purchase from you? That's another thing too. Yes, thank you,
You
Mallory.
know,
I think you would know.
it's funny you say that because I feel like I would mention my business once in a great blue moon because I didn't want to appear to be pesky, you know? I was like, I don't want people thinking I'm annoying, so I would do it like once every other month, and if that. And then I would forget about it, and then they'd have the rules. Oh, you can only do it on this day. And of course, when I thought about it, I missed that day. It's just hard to stay on top of those things. But I really feel like you're being a pest, and I don't know. I guess I gotta move past that.
That's a great a great subject you bring up, Valerie. And I think it is really important to remove that from and to shift the perspective of how we view it. Because what if we look at it as, well, I have this really great postpartum recovery ebook that's really useful to a pregnant postpartum mom. And if I'm not sharing my work so that they can get that support that's in there, I mean, that's a disservice to them and to myself too. And it's not that I feel like the being pesky really comes from an old narrative and story about women and that they are just doing this, and because I feel it too. It's not just you, and there's a lot of people who do that. But what if we shift the perspective, and what if we look at it in an empowering way, that I am sharing my valuable work, my service is of high integrity, my classes that I teach are helping my community. If I don't talk about it, I mean, what am I doing here? You know, I could easily, it's kind of like the imposter syndrome too. I could easily have, said a story for myself today about this class and this community gathering, and not have told you guys about my templates, not have told you about the email marketing training that I have, or my Template Queens program, or any of these things. But that would be a little bit, I feel like it would almost be selfish of myself to not share these resources with you guys when they're here. And the thing is, you guys want to move your businesses forward. So you want to get tools and trainings and skills, learn business skills like marketing that are going to elevate you so that you can get your class or course out. Right?
You
That's,
know,
so I think if we just shift it a little bit, we can really come into this space of empowerment for ourselves.
I just want to say, I just recently heard this word imposter syndrome. I was like, what the hell does that mean? And then I read it and I was like, oh my God, this is so me. All my years I've been in business. Like, I know stuff, but I feel like I don't know why I think like this. Like, you know how you're on Facebook and you're on all these groups and you see what these other ladies do? And then I go, oh, gee, I didn't think about that. Or, oh, gee, I don't do it like that. And then you think, oh, she's better. I'm not. Forget it. I'm out. And I've always done this to myself. And lately, I'm old now, I'm grandma age. And so, just lately, this is sad. I've come to realize that I really know a lot and I really can teach. Why I'm not, it's because I think I'm not good enough. I always feel this. So There's this thing that I do on the side, and I'm super quiet about it, but once in a blue moon, I do birth photography. And so, and I always see what other people do. And anyway, make a long story short, I can do the photography pretty darn good, but I don't know how to edit, and I could never figure out. Everybody said it's so hard to learn how to do that. So I can do the cropping, I can change it to black and white, but I can't remove stuff in the background. That's my real problem. And so anyway, I would just do it for free, give it to the client. And I say, you guys figure it out. You guys are younger than me. You grew up with the computers. I'm sure you know how to edit. So I've been doing this for a few years. And anyway, so finally, just recently, I did it again because it's like doing birth is like I'll do once. The last one I did was 4 years ago. The recent one I did was 3 weeks ago. And when I look at my pictures, I go, oh my God, these are so good. I think, why am I so stupid? Why do I think the way that I do? And so anyway, I put on a Facebook group that, hey, I need somebody to edit some pictures for me. I'm willing to pay. And thank God, this girl who's super young, and she does regular photography, and she said, "I'll teach you." I said, "Oh, praise the Lord, thank you, Jesus." I said, "I'll pay you," you know. And so I've had 3 classes with her, and so I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I think maybe, just maybe now I should start charging for my services. But I would never tell anybody. If I met you personally and you were having a baby, then I go, hey, you want a free birth photographer? I'll do it for you. They look, why? And it's because I don't know how to edit, so you can figure it out. Oh, okay. And that's what I do. I have this bad habit of doing this because I never think I'm good enough. And it's just this year in 2024, I'm thinking, Valerie, I think you're pretty good now. So anyway, I just don't know how to move past that mentality, and it's just frustrating me. But I've been doing what I do, honestly, for 40 years, on and off, on and off, and been certified and been official for like 25 years. And so anyway, I'm thinking, your body, as you get older and doing my newborn care work, it breaks down because doing the night work is so hard on the body. Your sciatica, your hips, your back hurt. And so I was thinking, what are you going to do to earn money when you can't do this anymore? And this is what I'm desperately trying to figure out, and learning how to use the internet, how to use marketing, how to edit, how to do it's like overwhelming. And I definitely don't want to pay a lot of money to go to college to learn editing, and they teach you things I will never use. So I'm always reaching out to people. Can you just teach me on your own? I'm willing to pay you, but I've got to learn what I need to know, not all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm just starting that this year.
Well, I really appreciate you, sharing and your vulnerability about the mind discussions and thoughts that come up, because you're not alone in that. There are so many women and so many birth workers who also experience this imposter syndrome, and it really holds us back quite a lot. And sometimes it really just is a simple mind shift, and mind, like a perspective shift of like, okay, we've been operating in this way, but what if we expand and open up into this new way of walking in the world? And then it really shifts our external experiences. And I do think, I mean, this is a lot of the work that I do. Well, yeah, today we're talking a lot about classes and courses and, building online evergreen products and passive income and digital products and stuff. It's so much deeper than that, because you can't talk about marketing and selling a product without really talking about what the internal mind is, how it's operating. Because you're never going to get on board with selling your stuff if you don't feel worthy of selling it. It won't happen. So I love doing that deep kind of work. We discuss a lot of that in my signature membership, the Wellness and Business Collective. We really go deep in that space. If anyone's interested in joining that, we can talk one-on-one and discuss. Um, but yeah, I have a free podcast episode on imposter syndrome, and it's specifically about the perspective shift that we're talking about here. So I'll link that in the email replay for anyone who would like to hear. And then I also wrote in the chat a book that you might find really, really lovely if you read any books. It's called From Strength to Strength by Arthur C. Brooks. And it specifically talks about this process of what to do when you know, when your body physically can't do the work that it used to do. And what brings happiness at the end of your life. And a lot of it is just about a transference of your skills, sharing the wisdom that you have. And one really great way to do that is through teaching others. And it's such a, you know, it's important to pass along the information and the wisdom you've like gathered and experienced. And then the other aspects you brought is about revenue. How do we build more revenue, and how do we shift out of, okay, this specific example, doing overnights and the income that brings in, to transferring it into classes. That's something we do also in the Wellness and Business Collective. Very important stuff. It's really just about tweaking your business suite of offers, the offers that you provide in your business. So you've got newborn care, like NCS, doula work, birth photography, which I think you can totally start selling very easily. You have the skills for it. And then how do we tweak your business offers into how you really want to serve your community and clients, and what feels really healthy for your body? You know, that's really important stuff. I shared at the very beginning of this call that I was a previous Cirque du Soleil, I'm a retired Cirque du Soleil acrobat. So the majority of my life has been as gymnastics and acrobatics. So I have a lot of knowledge on honoring, respecting, and caring the body. I also have a lot of experience on not doing that and what things did not work really well for my system. Because as a gymnast, you have pain and you keep going, and it's not healthy. So I've taken a lot of that and I've really molded it into the work that I'm doing now. And how can we do sustainable, thriving birth work and also serve our communities with high impact, and use class course creation for a source of revenue? And that's what a lot of the work we do in the signature membership. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. This has been amazing. I really loved meeting you guys. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you guys for coming. I want to share one last thing before we go. Template Queens. So that's what's coming up next. You're so welcome. So anyone who wants to continue and wants to move forward, we have a 3-week program. It's an intensive program. You guys are so welcome. Oh, good. If you want to continue, hop into Template Queens. It is a 3-week program. Hold on, I'm going to pull this up. So, oops. Okay. 3-week program. The first week, we're going to be talking about creating your class, your course, the platforms to use. So a little bit more diving into what we discussed today. Week 2, we're going to be doing more pricing and technology. So setting up your back end. And then week 3, we're going to be doing marketing and selling. So a lot of strategy and getting your class or course paid. We are going to do check-ins on Monday. You're going to be getting 4 different trainings that you can go over to support you in the step-by-step process. Tuesdays, so like today, Tuesdays at 11 a.m., we're going to meet and we're going to discuss another session like this. Basically, we're going to go back and forth. We're going to strategize your specific class and course. We'll go really deep. And then you can also provide links that I can give feedback to. And we're going to have group Voxer together. So we will have daily access to each other if for anything that comes up during the week. So as part of that, you also get a 50% off coupon for all of the templates. Any of the templates, if you want one, 50% off coupon if you join Template Queens. And then the fun thing is, this is a really low price point. It is going to be $33 for the whole 3 weeks. It's very, very low. $33 for the next 3 days. And then after those 3 days, it goes up to $97 for the program. So I would love for you guys to join, anyone who's interested. If you're already part of the collective, you get access to this program, so don't buy it if you're part of the collective. I would love to have you guys in Template Queens. It's a really wonderful program that I run every year, usually twice a year. And we get your class and course up and running and ready to go for selling. Yeah. Ugh. Thank you, Katie, for all these. Yes, I will absolutely send the link. I love these reminders. Okay. That's the link for Template Queens. You're so great. You're like, I need you in my life every day, Katie. Oh, so yeah, I would love to have you guys in Template Queens. It's a really good like introduction into working with me. I mean, obviously this call today is a great intro into the support that you will receive in the strategy. I know. I've got 3 kids, so if that says anything about me keeping my own stuff straight, 3 kids blows my brain sometimes. Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, you're in the thick of it too. 6, 3, and 7 months old, Katie says. Yeah, mine are almost 8. And then I've got a 5-year-old and an almost 2-year-old. So I'm pretty similar there with you. Yeah, it's fun, right? And okay, I just want to add too, just because you're sharing that, the work that we're doing here with like class and course creation is also really, really beneficial for anyone who is a birth worker who has young kids. Because guess what? Sometimes it can be really nice to be at home with your kids and still making money and supporting your community with classes and courses. It's the easiest way to bring in revenue while you're at home with your kids, because oftentimes being on call, being on overnights is not really conducive to, being at home with your young kids. So okay, Tabitha is sharing, same. I have 4 kids, 3 to 12 years. Yeah, that's a lot of birth workers are in that situation. So classes and courses can be really helpful for an additional stream of revenue, especially if you're like going on maternity leave or you just want to be at home with your kids instead of being on call and stuff. 100. Oh yeah. Katie's saying, yep, most people don't do birth work with the young kids. Yeah. And that is totally, a lot of birth workers will stop. Yeah, they stop, and it doesn't have to be that way. I had my 3rd kid, went on maternity leave, and started working from home ever since then. And I would see clients in person occasionally. I still kept that aspect of my business, but I also started teaching more classes. And I'm still the primary caregiver of my 3 kids. I do all the shuttle runs. I do all the chauffeuring. We have a Mother's Morning Day Out program on Tuesday, Thursdays. So that's where my kids are right now. It's, giving me the space and time to be with my community here. And you can do it. You can create the business that you desire. Jenny says, mine is 3 and it's just her and me. Yep. And Katie said, that's why I want to build up my breast milk jewelry and offer classes as a fallback option. Absolutely. Yep. I think that's just so brilliant too. I love it. How to create breast milk jewelry. I think that's going to do really well. I think it's really fun. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You're going to get a follow-up email with the replay with the things that we discussed. Let me see. So what
I have one question. I it's not really having to do much with this, but I was just wondering, so I used to live in Atlanta. And that's where I started my career as a postpartum doula. And anyway, I was just wondering, I travel to families that need a postpartum doula, newborn care specialist, and I didn't know if you hire for that, because I travel wherever clients are needed.
Where are you located right now?
Dallas.
Oh yeah, you're in Texas, right?
Yes.
So you're asking for, I mean, I have an agency, so you're asking if there's doulas in Atlanta, will I travel?
No, I'm asking, if I could, if you would refer me if you do that, because I travel to wherever families are needed. So if you had families in Atlanta that needed 24-hour care or, needed nights and you didn't have enough doulas, do you refer for that? Because I travel.
Yes, I refer for that. But maybe we should talk separately. We can just,
Yeah, I was just wanting to let you know before we hung up.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk more about that. I think that would
Yeah,
be,
I do have a couple of friends I can stay with if it's only night shift, but if it's 24 hours, I do that.
yeah, that's great to know. Thank you for bringing that up. I do have an exclusive provider program that, and then I also, yes, we can discuss more. Absolutely.
Okay,
Cool. All
thank
right,
you.
guys, this was awesome. Thank you so much for being here. You'll receive a replay with all of the things. If you want to join Template Queens or the Wellness and Business Collective or any of the other things in the shop, and you have questions, let me know. I'm available through email or Instagram. Thank you guys so much for being here live. It was really awesome to meet you all. Thank you for the engagement. You guys were amazing. And I will talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye.